More of a David, not a Goliath, but Wars himself said he thought he was underrated. Well, let's run it back because we got 2 maps to go. Game number 5, baby.
Whether it's your morning, your evening, or your afternoon, it doesn't matter. We're dropping into map number 5, and Team Wars is leading by a massive margin. It is worth mentioning they are only 4 points behind the top team from NA after 6. After 4. Ridiculous score count currently. The big question in all of our minds is, will anyone catch them? The only team even close, of course, is Jukeyz squad. So we'll see if maybe someone can overtake the Kings, and specifically King AJ. 35 eliminations in total after 4. And you heard the desk right. 37 was Juju yesterday after 6. And again, 35 after 4. Absolutely ridiculous scoreline. They just need an okay game, and they should lock this down after 5. Excited to see, though, who's going to be working their way through the rest of this prize pool, Tiff. Yes, $30,000 at the top, but hey, let's talk about those bubble teams. Now we're getting into the kind of clutch or kick moments, right? We're looking at top 25 making stage 2 finals without having to kind of reassess and refocus, maybe change up teams and re-go through those qualifiers. We're looking at Control December with Zamza Junior. Yeah, December, maybe that's his favorite month. I don't know. Control Deck. Tiff, that team on paper should be doing fantastic, yet they're sitting middle of the pack, barely qualifying currently. Team Rocket right behind them with Morpheus and Zakar. Right in front of them is Don Cacklin. So those are the 3 teams right now sitting exactly on the bubble line, but it's anyone's ball game to try to breach that top 25.
Ooh. Gromalok finally landing in here. They stretched for so long, but we had witnessed so many other teams trying to make that happen. Control likely out in the distance, going just a little bit further. So Gromalok trying to get some loot in, finding just a stack of $500 cash, but no real weapons to manifest just yet. Let's tune into the contest that we were witnessing just moments earlier. A mortar strike has already been called out, one in pocket to boot. So they just need to maybe spice this up.
Yeah, here's the thing. Final 2 maps, people are going to start getting a little crazy, Tiff.
Right.
We're going to see a lot of contested drops. We're going to see some pretty aggressive play styles, especially if people are at the bottom of the leaderboard. All you need is a pretty solid drop. You're going to be just fine. You need a 30-point game. You're probably qualifying if you've had at least 20 points after 4. We got 2 maps. It's not kind of all she wrote yet. You still have 6 maps in total, which is 1 more than usual, if you will, from the past and the qualifiers and World Series of Warzone last year. So a little extra time. This is the first RPG we've seen on broadcast. Can we just state the fact that they hit that and didn't do that much damage? But hey, we're grabbing a pick because of it. I'll take it. Maybe
and
2.
This is Team MZ Code Finest over here as well. And this is challenging, right? Finest, content creator for NorCal Esports, has been really growing as a content creator. And we know MZ is just so pops off with all of her snipes. But if we can't even get to where she can get a loadout and find success, it's a little challenging. But they are putting down some good cover fire here. Able to pick up down on 1.
Oh, it's a dangerous wrap out. Maybe dip, dive, duck, dodge, maybe dolphin dive. Who knows? But we'll see if MZ survives. Her teammates hopefully going to come out of the gulag free and clear. Callum in trouble. And this is Jukey's team. This is the team, I believe, currently in 2nd place. Looking to clean up some of these fights. Maybe we'll interrogate one of our new features here in Al Mazr. We can interrogate that down player and get a read on maybe where their teammates are. Usually people like to give up, but speaking of giving up, Bubble's not going to be giving up yet, but needs to be careful. Going down pretty early from a tough fight here with squad 20. That's Heeds on the other side, I believe, potentially picking up 1. There's a couple teams fighting here.
Was able to grab that self-res. As you can see on your right, the overall standings as Zach is able to send that player onto the gulag. We're 4 minutes in, no slacking off of action here. MZ, though, still playing the same truck. Finest now coming back in from the gulag, able to win that, but waiting on 1 member of the team to see if they can come out of the gulag as well. Would really help with those early KP and not nearly having to find the cash, hit a buy station. It's just better to win.
Better to win indeed. There's been several teams that have been going for wins and not grabbing a ton of elimination, and it's showing on the leaderboard. Find eliminations early. We've been preaching it on main. It's a lot easier said than done, of course, but whether you've got the KV broadside taking building fights or you're taking some of these longer fights with the Cronin, either way, find picks, clean them up with PAs, rotate, move to the next one. A lot of these teams too, Tiff, like we've mentioned it briefly, we're going to be battling over these strongholds. Yes, it kind of gives away your position once the stronghold gets activated, but everybody knows there's going to be teams battling for strongholds, but because it's one of the best ways to get a ton of resources that you're going to be using for the rest of the game.
Definitely is. High ground in the hands of Neon Foe. Tamaki and Showstopper. Dream was hyping them up just before map number 5, and they're hitting the flight, taking the roof, but getting peppered from the back. This is going to put a thorn in your side when that team is split, similar to what we had witnessed TBE, but a nice shield crack. That'll give you the opening. Can you capitalize on it? No drill charge. They had Semtex.
And they're currently, this is team 6, but they're currently situated in 7th overall. So a great day in the office. Would love to improve their odds. There's a lot of money to be had. King AJ in trouble. The team at the top by almost 50 some odd points. Still looking strong, but right now 2 being sent to the gulag. Prodigy last alive, trying to scamper out of here. Make sure they don't burn all 3 of those, I'll use quotes this time, Tiff, safety nets of the gulags as they're gonna run. And I believe the hunt is on. Kinsey's trying to get involved in the ego chow from Prodigy because, well, there's not much else you can do. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. All 3 into the gulag. This could be, I don't even want to call it a window of opportunity. We'll call it an unstopped flue of a chimney of opportunity for some other team to stop the bleeding that is Team Wars.
Angelica, they're the crew that has the stronghold building to your left. Team 20 out to the right, and Savvy Ultra's Blade, that winner of the solo YOLO from EU. Probably the most nerve-wracking thing he's ever went through. At least it was nerve-wracking watching it. But now that you gotta have ice in your veins to be able to complete that. So you've got to be locked and loaded in here. And Quirky getting that aim on, but you can't take that 1v2. Able to grab a knock onto one, but be groovy. You're gonna have to have their back. You can't escape, my guy.
I gotta say, I love my friend Savvy Ultra Blade. Fantastic competitors. They've had a rough day today. Currently situated in 35th. If they don't have to rework through qualifiers this time around, they were invited because they were winners last time. They might have to battle through the qualifiers if they can't get some sort of a groove here in the second half of this map. Second half, really last third of this tournament. We're down to the final 2 maps here, Tiff. This thing's moving quick, but we're gonna continue to check out City. We've had a lot of a variation actually of in circles as I think back on it. We had one water, we had one in dead center of City, one out in the open. We've seen just about everything there is to see here on Al Mazrah. Sure, we can get a little wacky with it, but excited to see where this end circle ends up and which teams predicted it correctly. That's been a metric of success today, as well as how good's your prediction game? How good's your prediction game, chat? Can we type in who we think's gonna win? Would love to hear who you guys think. And if you're picking Wars, maybe you're a bandwagon fan or maybe you're just smart. I don't know.
Regardless, he's on a redemption, but Showstopper here. Teammate Tamaki gonna fall, dives on into the water. It's crazy that you can swim while knocked, so I just try to swim to the side. I'm like, help me, I need life alert.
Let's take a look at the map. You can see several teams still on the outside. Most teams, though, inside of the circle. Team 34 hanging out way out there on the edge, of course. But otherwise, I mean, strong positions here from 27. 27's Azen's team, by the way. I believe they had second in the qualifiers. That's Gromalak Heeds. After a fantastic performance, they're looking to capitalize on staying centrally in the zone. That early rotation is going to come in clutch. We will be far away from City moving forward. So you take a look at that map. We'll keep an eye on that map and keep you updated. But another one of our squads near the top. Joewo gonna hunt his prey.
Bro, super clean, but Satir just gonna get out of the line of sight. Now the question is, do you give up your high ground and push that? I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. Prodigy coming back in. It's gonna be Team Wars. And you can get a lot of information, right? Just that overview. We saw there was a buyback, so you know there's a player disadvantage. You know where that team is going to be currently located because they probably can't rotate out that far. So now, just all about that ability to gather information and position yourself the best of your abilities.
That's a big old scope, my friend. I mean, good grief, that thing's taking it. That's what I was about to say. He's got a rangefinder on it and everything. I like it. It's certainly taking ultimate high, at least for now. Probably going to be pushed off of that shortly, but Ice Cube looking for some picks down below. Playing this slow. This is a classic breach and clear, as Dream likes to call it. You're going to push teams out by throwing those drill charges. You grab the information. Great. We know where they are. If you grab a knock, even better. Oh, is that an RPG? Did I see an RPG through the wall? Well, I see one player through the wall. Ice Cube's going to trade one. Zaguro ready to answer in kind, but maybe in a bit of trouble. No third to write home about. So now in a 1v3 situation with shots coming in from behind. Yeah, not even going to get there, Tiff. I believe that might be Tomsterbomb's team picking up that pick through the window.
Definitely is. And that was the first engagement for the team that we just witnessed, all getting sent to the Gulag. Pell now trying to make something happen for themselves, and unfortunately not going to be able to do so. Echo and Co are looking to move themselves up in the leaderboard. Currently 8th, coming into map number 5 with 55.2 points. That's over 70 points outside of first place.
That's a great call out. And what a weird fight. And again, I love our new codcaster because we can see when those players are going to engage, and the players themselves certainly can't see through that water. So peekaboo, I'm a shark with an MP5.
This is a no swim zone, Gosh. You're no longer allowed to swim here. Look, I went into ranked one day and my man dropped in. Look at that. Unfortunately, he thought you were going to get a cheeky pick from the back, but his friend was locked on. That's the importance of stacking. But no, like I was saying, some people have just been dropping straight into the water and trying to get placement. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah, you know, in ranked it might work. Here in customs, when you need eliminations, probably not. Jukeyz is going to pick up a free one. Wonder if Panty can answer. Back, Barry in trouble. This is going to be a tough fight, but they have knocked one. One drill charge there could clean it up. No, finds the leg through the bottom, but nice trades there from Jukeyz, protecting their team. Should be able to grab at least one res before Barry gets involved. Ooh, goes for the slow play, Tiff.
I do like cool, calm, and collected. Smoke going out, trying to hit the res on Division. 7 eliminations, 2,500 damage, and we are still at 47 squads up in this lobby. Jukeyz knows what he has to do in these last 2 maps. You have to play a little aggressively, right? They're pretty much guaranteed to find themselves within the top 25 and advancing, but that's not going to be enough. So they're going to turn up that aggression and keep moving forward.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you called out his kills because I was wondering how many he had. I hadn't seen it when we glanced at his perspective for a moment. 7 this early is bonkers. If they can hold on to this momentum and get into the zone, which they desperately need to do, if they can get back over there, this could be one of the biggest games of the day we'll see. And we already saw a 60-point game. That pace is massive. Remember, most of these players are picking up most of their kills in the end circles, but Jukeyz squad says, we've qualled. We're pushing every single fight on the edge. Can we clean up this team, please? Barry is hanging out, ratting away. I got to give flowers where they're due. Barry's been playing their life well, but I think the clock is ticking on that one.
Abwiz, Oki, FIFA, trying to keep things... It's not necessarily damage control. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to qualify, but it's how much are they taking home, right? You know, FIFA earlier, he's like, I want a little 5 to 6K personally. So they're going to have to put the work in starting now, but Oki already on 4 eliminations. That's pretty clean. And the conversion rate between kills and downs, impressive.
Certainly. Wiz on 4. Morpheus up above. Holding down. Oh, wow. Yeah, even gets first shots off. Nice take. Wiz feeling good about that one on 5 already. The teams that know how to play hyper aggressive are starting to pull away here in the final moments of this tournament. The teams that are playing defenseless, well, really defensive and defenseless to be clear, are not having any success. You've got to play with some confidence going into these lobbies, or you're going to be hung out to dry. Joewo doing a lot of that as well, finding some shots over the top. Night vision in hand, helping a little bit. Yes, through the wall, or rather lack thereof.
Daniel swimming up, trying to get to the teammate. Not sure if they're going to be able to hit a revive, but Zendix is kind of separated, looking for a flank, but a 1v3, not what you want to take. And this is where we saw our map 2 actually end, just on the outskirts of this building. Didn't bode well for anyone looking to chow the team that owned that building. Patsuka able to grab it down.
Those are some long shots with the Lockman sub. I think that player was a little weak, Tiff.
Just a little bit.
This is another team, though, Team 30, that's hunting the edge of zone. Jukeyz is doing a lot of the same. Team 30 is Team Joewo, Ixiom, Patsuka. They need a big game as well to increase their money. Every single map, you can think of thousands of dollars if you're doing math correctly. Here's your current leaders by almost 50 points. Looking for a few more elims. They're hunting, now not necessarily edge of zone like the other two, but they still consistently find kills after kills, clearing out the center zone, protecting their own POIs. Players trying to do something here, and it's not going to go very well. But hey, that's a mortar strike, and maybe some shots from behind as well. That's what happens when you got some sightlines like that, Cronin or otherwise. Get some nice picks, and that's 2 going down. Just King AJ alive.
That's gonna be Team Preto from the back looking down on them. They wanted to push on 2 separate teams, but unfortunately that is tough when you're running through Al Mazrah, because buildings can give you that high ground, which gives you a line of sight for so long that anyone can look to engage in a fight and not get reprimanded for it. But let's turn on over. We get a good look at Village. There's a stronghold, and Cam's last alive for the squad. This is gonna be Team Method Sick on your screen.
Taking a look at Team Ghoul as well, top of the qualifiers. I was hoping it wasn't going to be the curse of the top seed out of the qualifiers. Of course, Frozone squad didn't make it through yesterday after winning the qualifiers for NA. Hoping that's not the same for Team Ghoul, currently situated because of this map up into the top 20 currently, but those are live leaderboards. They will change dramatically over the course of the rest of this map. Still 43 squads left. Keeds, Gromalok playing pinch. Wow, that's a lot of lethal grenades, and yeah, that'll take a pick. Where's the second one? Yeah, we win those as well. Gromalok on a tear, and that should be a full team wipe. Heats taking the last one.
Bro, I'm gonna start taking notes on how they lay siege to these buildings, because I need to channel it. But look at this jump spot just off the high ground of that building, straight down. You can see the drill charges in flux, pinching them in on that second story of the building. There's nowhere to hide when they are coming in from every layer of this building.
Yeah, I'll give some credit. Shucks did just about all he could there, but not enough to stay alive. Hopefully they're back after a Gulag win. King AJ is ratting, Tiff. This is the one game that the rest of the lobby needed to just slow their roll a little bit. But it does give both the revives back, and quickly you're going to see Wars and Prodigy trying to regain. Even if we lose King AJ here, which it looks like we do, from Lenun and Visions, might I add, that's the second place team. Still a massive, massive moment to go get both those buybacks, and Jukeyz and their whole squad can wipe the rest of this. Wars says, that's fine. Well, let's just float in the air. We'll figure out where we want to go next. As long as we're alive, we're okay. But Lenun is feeling fantastic, because this is like 3 or 4 eliminations, and we're like barely into the mid game, moving towards in game.
I think they're on 16 eliminations as a team goes, so this is going to be a banger. Now, granted, the biggest game that we've witnessed here today was 60 points. That is 30 eliminations with a ×2 multiplier, so you know that Jukeyz is looking to make this happen for their squad.
Yeah, here's the thing too. I'm taking a look at that Jukeyz squad. They were on the edge of zone. Someone's let them walk all the way to observatory free and clear. Now maybe they paved their own path for that, and that's why they have so many eliminations. But still, kudos to them to wrap all the way to observatory and making it into the zone without too much effort. It seems they caught some teams that had less players than them, and they win those gunfights, or maybe made some heroic plays. We'll have to look back on the VOD to tell. There's Klua, and on the other side, I believe that's Team 8. And that's going to be Don Cacklin, who's just inside of that metric to qualify. Was about 22nd overall going into this lobby. So needs a good one here. Wants to stay consistent. Looks like they're picking up picks, potentially with some snipes, and then free and clear, winning our player advantage fights. Don Cacklin might be moving up.
Saw Zamza in the mix as well. That's a bubble team looking to seal themselves a ticket to the next stage. And granted, they do have that clutch factor through the open quals. It took them until the final moments to really solidify their position. And honestly, Zamza tweeted out a Monsters Inc. Sully gift this morning, so my man's was ready.
Yeah, that'll get you ready. I've talked to some of these players about their pregame rituals. I've heard everything from watching LeBron clips to the playing piano from yesterday to wearing my lucky socks. Everybody's got their own rituals, but whatever it takes, gents and ladies, figure it out, get locked in, because we're a map and a half away from this whole tournament being done and dusted. You might have to requalify if you can't lock in. Speaking of locked in, Chunk needs to lock in as well. Tactical Brit Squad's one of those teams on the fringe, finding a few eliminations. Well, here comes Jukeyz, quickly back onto his weapons, and guess what, Tip, this might be our first observatory final circle.
Ooh, I do love Observatory. It's one of my favorite positions on the map. You think back to Caldera, it's very similar to how Peak was, very central, has the high ground, easily able, if you can secure ownership of Observatory, you can rotate out, but Vincom on your screen, they are definitely a mountain goat trying to stay alive. They need to rotate in, and sometimes that gas mask animation can get real finicky here when you're riding the edge of the gas, and people are taking shots. We're down to 6 armor plates, but should be able to make their way in.
Team 37 looking pretty comfortable there on the other side of the zone. Here's our winners, still alive, not even barely breathing. We'll make it maybe barely breathing now. Jaff, Tactical Brick need a massive game. Like I said, they need to take out the winners as well. King AJ raining fire from above. This does give away his position though, and he would love to get back. Prodigy down below. The verticality is so helpful right now for them because Team 14 just around the corner gonna have to work their way up this mountain. The teams that early rotated, look, I'm shouting out Enigma left and right. Early rotation's key. Enigma calls it. We're breaking the code. At this point, it should be obvious for everybody at home, right? Early rotate, get to the middle of Observatory, hold down your POI. If you have any number of eliminations, you should be feeling good. Whether you're Tiana at the top or maybe you're, team number 7 rotating through Observatory, you got to get here first so that you can hold down these positions. So difficult to rotate into Observatory in particular because of the verticality of the outside of the POI.
Tiana Mercedes finally leaving ultimate high ground, has to move towards that next zone. Kind of tough though, because everyone's going to be looking at them. Angelica finding some eliminations. FIFA kill going down. Checking in with our winners from the qualifiers. Raz was that kill leader during the qualifiers, and so far all 3 alive. Ghoul on 6 eliminations.
That's if I was going to say, it's going to be a linchpin moment for that team. They've got to stay alive. They've got to make it into the top 20 and hopefully the top 10 if they want those extra multipliers. King AJ and Prodigy going to do everything they can to not only just win the map, but also just maintain the fact that no one can catch them. They've been up against adversity this map and somehow are still alive. Going to check all their corners and then try to take one of these buildings close by, but it's the teams in the center. Team 33 looking fairly comfortable. It's Nova hiding out inside the building. It's this squad in particular I was going to shout out though. Aizen's team poised, ready to win. Team 27 looking very comfortable. All 3 alive. Wiz trying to keep things alive for FIFA kill. No. Warzone squad will wipe them. Prodigy up to 2. Not a massive game, but still a good one. We're inside the top 20 TIF, and it's about to be top 10 very shortly.
I mean, the fact is we have 17 squads in this Observatory ending. No building's gonna be free. King AJ able to grab the elimination, starting to stick the res, but unfortunately drill charge is going to prevent that. King AJ now a solo for Wars' squad.
Lenun, Jukeyz, Vision still up as well. So we've got first place, but you got second place still in the fight here inside the top 16. But it's all up to King AJ, the king on the kill leaderboard by a sizable margin. Officially, by the way, the best slayer on the entire stage 1 finals in a EU aside. Officially over, I believe about 39 right now, needs 1 for 40. Just between 5 maps with 1 to go. Question is, can we clutch up even further? 1v multiple situations, low on health. No, we'll see you later. Still 39 though, still a nice map to write home about. Still a consistent one. Likely going to see them at the top of the leaderboard, no questions asked. But this squad should close the gap fairly aggressively, Tiff, if they can stay alive to top 10, and I know that's what they're thinking about.
Lenun on the move, smokes going out. You can see Savvy Ultras, they're going to be just in front of Jukeyz. They are going to have to push, but I like the fence play. Move around the building. You don't have to go through the inside, but there is another team lying in wait. And you do have to clear your back out too. This is going to be a tough rotate.
One of the teams that really needs this victory. It's in the kill feed. Junior, we're losing Zamza, but Junior is still up. Team 29, outer edges of zone, a little bit in trouble. They need a massive map. They have made it to top 10. They have a sizable amount of eliminations. Is it going to be enough? They do have some high ground too as well, and the zone pulls away from them. Unfortunate pull, but a perfect read from Vision's, Jukeyz, and Lenun. Second place, a massive game under their shoulders already, Tiff, but they could make it monumental. A 2 times multiplier on top of their 20 some odd kills at least. Jukeyz on 10 by himself.
All right, Junior, what can you do? You gotta move from there. Smokes are not gonna help you. Vision's able to grab the down and the thirst, making it another one for them. Just waiting to see all the teams rotate out, and Swagg gonna be the next victim of Jukeyz and co. 11 eliminations, almost on 5,000 damage. 8 squads remaining, Goj. We are nearing the final moments of this map. Can we see our first repeat winner?
Absolutely. This is a Jukeyz map win if I've ever seen one. It's the freest win I've ever seen. They perfectly read the end zone. Here's our floaters. Big ups Tactical Brit for still being in the air. You needed this one to qualify. This should help out a lot. Inside the top 5 means we've officially hit the 1.8 multiplier, but it's over. It's a wrap. Send them over to the finish line. We got to grab a couple pistolers and that's it. Now, hopefully they don't kill themselves or kill each other. We want all these free eliminations. That's like 2 or 3, 4 more points multiplied by 2. That's a lot of points they're grabbing at the end of this map here, Tiff.
Is this about to be the biggest map that we see here today on the EU finals? I know we've got Gromalok in the air, A's and Tactical Brit. Control was one of our bubble teams in 25th place, made it to the top 5.
Yeah, this is a huge take for all 3 of these squad. Aizen's team would love to win some more money, of course. On the other side, Tactical Brit and our last Control, both on bubble. They needed these placement points. They have them already. So at this point, just throw your lives away. Don't give your points away to anyone else. But then again, it's Team Jukeyz. You're not catching them anyways. Wow. Let's see the number after the reaction here, Tiff. What? I mean, the game was over for a while. But will that be the biggest game of the last couple days? I don't know, but it was a dominant performance, and from a flawless execution at the beginning of the map all the way to the end, I'll tell you what, these boys can read zones. Flawless early rotations to set up for success.
I mean, it's going to be really close. Let's take a look back at that winning moment. Our first repeat winners. Map 1 wins map 5.
Yeah, Tiff, I think we're going to see some nice celebration here from Lenun. But at this moment, right, the winning moment, they won a while back. It's just a matter of how many points can we grab. Now, I will say the caveat is you want to make sure that you hold on to the very, very tiniest edges of this so you don't lose to a gas battle or something like that. They're floating, so if any of them had a gas mask, they would have won. But nice, couple damage bullets there should help out. And yeah, you wouldn't want to lose out on a ton of points. Oh, we didn't see it. Wait for it. How many points? I love the reaction from Lenun. Always great celebration. Oh no, we're gonna have to let the admins do the math, Tiff. I hate it. I hate it. I want to know so bad.
The suspense is definitely going to kill us, but they were incredibly hyped, and congratulations to them. They were doing something that was really smart. They were trying to get shots on the floater